Hello, my name is Brenna Radish, and I'm going to show you a video that uses clickers. It takes place in a third grade classroom, and they are practicing questions for the OAA in the subject area of math. The first thing that I'm going to show you is the teacher pad that goes with the clicker system. And the video does kind of jump around to different scenes. The reason is the whole entire video was 20 minutes when I went into the classroom to record, but I cut it down to about 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you the most important parts of the clicker system. So first we're going to look at the teacher pad, and the teacher pad, we'll get a bigger or better view of it at the end of the video, but it kind of looks like, as funny as it sounds, like a bathroom scale, and it's really lightweight. And at the top, the screen that you're looking at right now is a screen maybe a little bit bigger than your cell phone screen, and it gives the teacher different views, and we're going to look at the different views that the teacher can look at. So the first one that the teacher can look at is the student's name and their response to the question. I started taping when they were answering the first question. Just as Joy mentioned, each clicker at a university has a serial number, and it's programmed with that student's name so that they can't trade clickers or share with a friend. That's exactly how these clickers are. The ID number is the number on the clicker, and then the student's name, and then their response. The next screen that the teacher can choose to look at on their teacher pad is going to give us a little bit more data. This is a seating chart. So he can see where the students are sitting and if they have gotten the answer right or not. The next screen that the teacher can choose is their total responses. In this class there's only 17 students, so we have everybody's responses in, and he can see the percentage of students who answered B and the percentage of students who answered A. So it's constantly uploading the teacher pad with data as they answer each question. And then the next screen is, again, their clicker number, then their name, and then this tells them their overall score. Right now, we've only answered one question, so it's 1 out of 1. So that's another data screen that they can look at. And then this one as well is question 1 out of 13. As it progresses, it'll update itself, the number of responses, and then the percentage correct as well. The next one we're going to look at is a question. It's a multiple choice question, A, B, C, or D. And when he puts up the question, he reads it out loud and then reads their answer, the possible answers out loud. The clicker is not very big. It kind of looks like a remote, so it's easy for the students to manipulate. And then also you're going to see this girl right here. She's going to click in her answer, and she's going to point it at the receiver, which is sitting at the right hand of the whiteboard on the teacher's desk, and that receiver receives the signals from those clickers. And the reason she looked at the whiteboard is because she can tell if her answer got received or not by those numbers on the bottom. She knows what number clicker she has. So whatever number clicker she has, it'll turn a different color when it receives her answer at the bottom here. So you can see if she was number 12, it would turn from a dark blue to a light blue if the receiver has received her question or not. The students don't know the other clicker numbers that their friends have. Kind of keeps the anonymity alive by using the clicker system. You can see that the teacher has ended the question because all 17 students have responded, and there is a green arrow next to the letter D at the bottom showing them that's the correct answer. The numbers at the right show you how many students picked that answer. Right now the teacher's describing to the kids why D is the answer. Sometimes he'll go up to the board and draw it out for them. When he reveals the answer, sometimes the students kind of have a competitive edge and they'll go, yes, or, oh, I picked that, or, so they kind of really get into it. You can see here the teacher's going to make the font bigger for the students to read. He can do that with just a touch on that touchpad, so that makes it really nice for students who may be visually impaired, or if it's a big room or lecture hall. Right here, I'm going to pause it for just a minute. You can see the end button. That is when everybody has responded, the teacher can end the question. The teacher can end the question whenever they want, actually. But in this case, the teacher waits until everybody has logged their answer, and then he presses end, which doesn't allow anybody else to change their answers or log in. There's a timer there. You can choose to use the timer. It's up to you. But in this case, the teacher says he never uses the timer, just for the sheer fact he wants the students to really practice how to answer the questions. But you can take on kind of like a game-like edge to using the clickers, and using like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or Jeopardy, maybe practicing for a test or something like that. But you can use the timer. There's a lot of things that you can do with this board. And then if on the right, where you see the white box with the number 15 in that tells you how many students have logged in their answers for this question. We're still waiting on 2 more students to send their responses in. This is a picture of a clicker. This is what it looks like. And just like Joy had mentioned, prices vary on these technology tools. You can, it's basically based on their capabilities. If you buy a clicker that can do short answer and multiple choice questions, you're going to pay a little bit more for it. And this clicker does have that capability. You can see it has kind of just looks like your phone. It has the numerical buttons on there associated with the alphabetical ones. And also, the students in this class at the elementary level are really only concerned with the letters. And also in a lecture hall as well, and college professors might want to do a short answer response, because we all know college students are really good at texting, so it's not going to take them that long to text or type an answer on their clicker and send it in. So that might be something that you'll see more at the college level as well. This is a clicker bag, and this is kind of what it looks like. They come in sets, classroom sets of 24 or 32. You can see they're all numbered, and just like Joy had mentioned previously as well, at universities you can buy them individually. You can return them. I'm going to pause it here for just a minute. You can return them to the bookstore just like you would return a textbook. So you can buy them individually as well, but usually when you buy a classroom set, that's what they look like. Now we're at the end of the session when the kids are all done. I'm going to pause it here for just a minute. And when the kids are all done, you can choose to do this or not. This teacher chose to, maybe because his students were a little bit competitive with this, and he chose to show this. But these are the end results, and it shows their name, their number, and their score. And he let the top 5 scorers put their clickers away and get ready for recess first. You can choose to do that or not. Totally up to you. But he chose to do that. You don't have to show this. This is an option on the teacher pad that you can choose to show. And lastly, we're going to look at the teacher pad a little bit more here of what it can do. This is the teacher pad. Again, it's not very big. It's lightweight. It's easy to carry around. It's wireless. Everything is wireless in the whole clicker package. So that's, everything's just kind of flying through the air with data and answers and that type of information. So you can see the teacher pad. He has a plastic pen, and he writes, if you will, on that white part at the bottom. And then there's icons at the top of the whiteboard. And he can highlight, he can erase, he can write, he can draw shapes, he can draw lines. He can do anything he can from this teacher pad. He just has to tap the icon that he wants, and then he writes on the teacher board. He says it does take time to get used to, because whatever you're doing on that teacher pad shows up on the whiteboard. So you kind of have to get used to kind of coordinating what you're doing in front of you with it projecting up on the whiteboard as well. And then here's his results The total responses, 17, since we have 17 students. And that's kind of like the overall data for that session. So there are a lot of things that you can do. The clicker technology can offer you a lot of data information, and this data information you can have on your computer, your software. At the end of the day, you can go back and look at it and say, I need to pull these two kids, or I need to pull that kid and revisit that concept or idea, or questions 1 through 5. The whole class really struggled with, so I'm going to go back and teach that lesson, and then we're going to see if they have a better grasp on it. This is a technology that is constantly giving you that immediate feedback via data that the students are giving you. So I really hope this video has given you a better idea of what clickers are and what they look like. And I encourage you to go to our discussion board and participate there and let us know what you think. Thank you.